In Anoka Hennepin schools, we stay above the line. As high school students, we've got a lot of school spirit.
And when we compete in athletics, that spirit goes through the roof.
Our pride runs deep. And sometimes competitions can get messy. But our friends and competitors all deserve a safe environment.
That's why this season and every season, we're committed to competing with class.
It's not okay to taunt, trash, or throw shade at our opponents.
We don't play that way. As players and as fans, this is the way we play the game.
We build up our teams.
We respect officials.
And we give props to the other team, even if they beat us. We are not alone. Our high school coaches, administrators, and staff are committed to confronting and eliminating bad behaviors.
Because insensitive, offensive, and hateful behavior
has no place in our high school or in our activities.
Everyone has a role to play.
So whether we're at home or away, join our school communities
as we show everyone this is the way we play the game.
Anoka Hennepin fans, whether you cheer for the Huskies, Cardinals, Bengals, Rebels, or Tornadoes, let's stay above the line.
Back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Score! Yes! Score! Go to the deflection. Yes! The Huskies win their first state championship.
From the Andover Community Center, home of the Andover Huskies and the boys and girls state tournament champions from last season, I'm Joe Rulin, along with Jim Childs, and we welcome you to this QCTV broadcast coming your way as the Huskies are hosting the Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning. The Lightning come in with a mark of 13-8 in the Huskies. An impressive record on the season as well, as they are at 15-3. Jim, great battle tonight. Two teams we potentially could see in the section finals.
Yes, and they met 2 years ago in the section final with the Huskies taking it on their way to the state championship game. One thing about the Grand Rapids Greenway legacy is they're really good skaters, they're good hockey players, and we're going to have a chance to see three really top-notch players tonight on the Greenway Grand Rapids team.
Well, you get a look right now at the starting lineup. Head coach is Brad Heiduch. Heiduch has been there for 13 seasons. And let's get you started off here with the goalie. The goalie tonight is going to be Samantha Barato. She comes in with a mark of 4-5 on the goals against of 3.35. Of course, starting the top scorer, number 12, is Mercury Bischoff. She comes in with 38 goals, 24 assists. Centering that line will be Kale Reed, 11 goals and 30 assists. Molly Pierce will be the other winger on that site as well. So she comes in number 21. Meanwhile, here's a look at the starting lineup for the Andover Huskies.
Yeah, and really an experienced front line there. You've got Issa Gettle and Madison Brown. Madison Brown back on the ice. She's been outstanding the last couple of games with 6 points in the last 2 games, and they're centered by Ella Berger, who's really been the rock that has been there. On the blue line, good to see Kaylin Mumm back on the blue line along with Courtney Little. Mumm just got back from Sweden, and the goalie tonight, Courtney Stegman, what a career she's had. 60 wins against 4 losses. Just incredible. .91 goals against. Really solid.
This season, she comes in with a mark of 15-3, goals against of 1.11, and a save percentage of .930. She's also has 8 shutouts to add to her portfolio as well, does Stagman this season. We are going to Stop and pause for the playing of the national anthem. Well, the Lightning get themselves ready. Want to set up also a couple of their starters that we did miss on defense. It's going to be Jazzy Bischoff, 22, a senior, 1 goal, 11 assists, and Allie LeClaire also on defense for this Lightning squad. They come into the mark of 13-8. They have scored a total of 87 goals this season and surrendered 41. Meanwhile, for the Huskies, they come into this matchup with, again, a record of 15-3. And they have tallied 86 goals, surrendered 21.
And you can see the Section 7. This is the QRF standings as of today. It's something that they use as they get the sectional seedings. And you can see Andover, far and away number 1. They're number 2 right now in the state, but number 1 in the section. Blaine and Grand Rapids and Greenway, that's the battle for number 2. And obviously, you got a chance to go to the sectional final if you can get that number 2.
And we had a chance to speak with head coach Brad Hyduke extensively before the game, Jim, and boy, he added some great insight in terms of what he has seen over the course of 13 seasons, and is trying to get his team geared up. They took a tough loss last night, and 3-2 loss last night, but he feels good. He feels good about the direction as well with Samantha Parado in goal. And of course, that first line, how can you not feel good about Mercury Bishop with 38 goals on that first line, along with Reed and Pierce. We're ready to drop the puck, and it's also good to see Maddie Brown back on that line, and she has the puck now for the Huskies. Clicks the eludes just beyond Gettle, and Berger has it. Berger sets it back to the near side here. Rister hits traffic, does not make net, and skating it out now. The Lightning moving it up and trying to commandeer it out there. Chance behind, unable to get anything going just now. A nice poke check on the stick of Berger. She has to recircle and come out of her own end. This one is pitchforked through the neutral's end and now put on the stick of Brown. Brown is tied up. We're going to get a penalty now early on. And that was an impressive a pitchfork pass that went over the neutral zone, Jim, and right onto the stick of Brown, who had to wait just at the right time so she wasn't offside.
Yeah, it was, like you said, impressive. Just kind of like hitting a receiver on a go route. Brown got behind the defense and laid it right on the line. So
if I had, a shirt pocket on my hockey jersey, it would have dropped right into that pocket. Well done. So the Huskies get a look at their first power play of the evening. They come in with a power play proficiency of 28% on the season. Backhanded here in the umbrella formation for the Huskies as they set this up. Brown is behind, and Brown also just a major contributor. Good to have her back as she was out with an injury. At the high slot there, low slot shot saved, coming back out on the backhand by Brown. The initial shot by Berger turned away. Setting it up now, Brown circles behind the net. On the one-timer, that one just missed it. Gettle was tangled up a bit, but now back at the near point. It's controlled, and a big shot coming from the side. Rolls off the stick at Gettle. She gets it to Mum. Mum now sets it up to side here to Engler. There we go.
Yeah, it was They have such great movement with their pass. They're able to know where everyone is on the ice, and Andover's power play is outstanding, sitting at a 92%, 16 out of 57 so far this season.
Both these teams like to come out of that gate strong, and meanwhile the Huskies have outscored their opponents in this first period this season, 34-5. Off the stick, disrupted there on the penalty kill. Well done. You'll see them work kind of that diamond formation on the defense right in the neutral zone. They try to disrupt any progress coming through the neutral ice, and now it's on the stick for the Huskies as they start to get it going here. First period just underway, no score. Dunleavy had it for a moment. Big blast from that side. It corrupts and goes right up the sleeve that time of Barato, and she secures it to make the save. A good blast and a good scoring opportunity there by Sauer.
We talked about special teams with Brad Hajduk, and the shorthanded goals. The Lightning have 10 so far this season. That is significant. Bishkoff with 4.
Back behind, and Huskies will start it up again. They have that diamond formation set up on the penalty kill. The Lightning skating in as Sauer. Sauer has been an outstanding offensive spark for the Huskies, holding the zone, far point there. Nice job by Little. Still 15 seconds left on the power play. Trying to get at it there is Dunleavy. Dunleavy drops it back for Sauer. Bothered there defensively. Nice job on this penalty kill. If they can clear here, they do. It was Maisie Bader that time who played a big role digging it out and moving it up. Here comes Sauer back again for the Huskies. She tries to dangle and dipsy-do her way to defense. The puck ends up getting by. She does not to get the shot on. And back at full strength after the penalty kill here is Grand Rapids. 14-17 to go. Successful penalty kill here for the Grand Rapids Greenway squad.
Interesting that they have 3 more games than the Huskies already on the season in the books. And only 3 games left right now.
And a penalty whistled again. This one's going to go against Andover. It will be against Berger. Berger for a high stick penalty. Get a look at that. This power play this season at 18% for Grand Rapids. They are 14 of 75 on the power play. Meanwhile, Andover at a 91% clip on the penalty kill.
Yeah, and I had mentioned it was 92% for their for their power play. That was their penalty kill. My bad. Oh,
off the back, getting through. Stagman makes the save. Good tip, just in front of Stagman. Greenway tries to light the lamp first here. The Lightning. It's up, pass just a little too slow, and that gives the defense there, the Huskies, to disrupt it and take it down length of the ice. That's Sauer, as I mentioned. Back up, holding at the near point, now disrupted, coming in, skating, gaining the line. Drop pass there. Held up at the blue line, that was Reed. Her father played some hockey at St. Cloud State. Good stretch that time to stack the one pad by Stagman right on the doorstep. They blow the whistle. I believe to reset the net. Still 1:11 to go, and I'll tell you, this Grand Rapids squad is filling the zone already on this power play.
Absolutely. They're kind of taking the energy they had from the JV game when they ended up in a 1-1 tie.
Sherlock off the faceoff. It's controlled by Andover behind the net. Now that's Little trying to move it up. Gets it just beyond the blue line. Now it leaks by at the near point. To the corner, battling it out. 3 players in the corner. And finally, it's a chance here. That was Madsen with it momentarily. Headmans it up again to the corner. Pinching in is Madsen to hold the zone. Sends it behind the net now to the corner. And off to the half wall and backhanded down. Length to the ice that time by Mackenzie Jones. Senior night tonight here at Andover, and we'll get you updated on that in a minute. Disrupting Fanning on a pass out of the zone control. Now Thorson has it on the penalty kill. She played defense last year on the team that won the state tournament, and she's moved up to forward this season. And she's killing the penalty on her own, skating back and forth behind. And now here's a chance for Mumm. Holding the zone here, back at full strength. The wrister here forces a pad save. That's right by Angelotti. Flying in, again back at full strength, the Huskies. No score, still 11:50 to go here in this first period. Both teams have had a chance to showcase their power play. High slot here, now it slithers its way down to Kraus. Kraus unable to settle it, they'll send it length to the ice, and we'll get the whistle. Nope, they'll wave it off at the last minute. A long stretch pass put on the stick of Thorson. Held there, holding the zone. Nice shot, a good wrister off the mark as quickly settling that puck. It was McQuay. Greenway making a chase, coming up quickly behind. That was a good rush up ice by Mercury Bischoff. A stabbing traffic in front. Bischoff is right there, and Bischoff is one that you certainly don't want to give a lot of time in front of the net to, Jim.
No, she has been an outstanding. She was here 2 years ago, scored the only goal, and I became a huge admirer of how well she manages her space on the ice. She's outstanding. 223 points, career points, and she's a sophomore.
Adequate. Gosh. She's also got 6 hat tricks this season.
Oh, that's it? Come on now.
Circling back behind now, redirecting it back. A chance. LeClaire. Defense bringing it and taking it down low. That's Bischoff. She's battling there with Little. Now it's Gettle. Trying to get it on the stick of Brown. Disrupted off the stick of Brown and moved through the neutral zone. And now on the stick and a wrister. Taken that time by LeClaire. Save is made by Stagman. Quick outlet. And back come the Huskies. This bouncing puck is settled by DeBay. And the Lightning try to work their way out. They do, but they don't have control of the puck. It's now on Berger. Berger takes a swat at it on the stick of the Lightning player. Gettle finds it between her stick, and then a backhand is sent through the neutral zone, and there will be Jones back to retrieve the puck and set the Huskies up on a rush up ice. During this breakout, 10 minutes to go, opening period, no score. Bouncing puck there, hops the stick. And now back the other way. Here comes Gettle. To the corner. Gettle goes right back out in front. Berger tried to feed her, but defensively she was bracketed there well by the Lightning. Out back the other way comes Mater. Mater gets across center ice, tries to send it deep because the rest of the team was on a change. Gettle gets it just in front of that blue line and chips it to the corner. Coming in full speed ahead to try to disrupt his Delage. Now it's to the corner to Engler. Engler backhands it to the near corner and whistled back again. The other way that time, Sauer. Christensen, Sauer, and Engler on his line. Blast comes in, hits traffic, does not make it to the net. This one's sent into the bench, and with 9:15 to go.
A couple of nice opportunities for Maya Engler. Joe, you've got a need to know.
Yes, this is an interesting, right? First goals, we all know first goals are pivotal. Last year, obviously, the Huskies were 33-0 when they scored the 5th goal, going on to first goal. This year's there's been, the Huskies have scored, there have been 17 games, but they are 12-3 in games in which they have scored the first goal.
Jeez.
And Maya Engler has 3 of those first goals, but a little key factor, kind of an indicator, kind of what's trending. When Maya Engler has scored the first goal of a game, the Huskies have lost all 3. I'm sure it's nothing personal, but she had that first goal in their last loss to Hill-Murray, to Minnetonka, and then also to Gentry Academy. As I was going through some statistic analytics, that thing just kind of, it was like, wow, this is kind of walking one direction.
We'll have to waive her off from any shots later until that first goal is scored.
Nearing the midway mark of this first period, and the Andover's trying to work their way out. Here's Little. Cross ring pass up ice. Now kicking it in. Sauer there. Lost possession there. Sauer on the season, having an outstanding 11 goals, 10 assist campaign. in the corner, redirected, and now Thorson was trying to get into that fray. A breakout here off the stick of Bischoff. Now back to Sauer. Sauer will head to the bench. Staying out there, still on that line. Was out there earlier, Thorson. And then Christensen now heads back to the bench for her line change. Pinching in, grinding it is McQuay. McQuay and Thorson tangle at it in the corner along with this Greenway crew. Over there for Greenway is also Madsen. Connie Madsen gets control but cannot clear. Mum sets it up, doorstep right there, but it goes to the far side. McQuay picks it up in the near corner. McQuay chips it ahead over to Hannah Olsen. Olsen overskates in the corner, and now getting there first and trying to move it out there is Moran. Finally cleared, length of the ice, and we this time will get the icing whistle. 7:25 to go in this first period, and as I mentioned, Andover has outscored their opponents 34-5 in that first period. Meanwhile, Grand Rapids Lightning have outscored their opponents 24-17 in the first. So these two teams not used to playing from behind a lot.
No, absolutely not. And this is the third road game this week for Grand Rapids, and that means something when you're up in Grand Rapids. You're not going 20 minutes or 15 minutes over to Blaine.
Correct. It's the Hall, in fact. Some additional games trucking down here. Now a race to the puck ensues there. There's Mum. Her team came up with the bronze medal. She traveled globally for some additional hockey. Nice to have her back. Now, good stick work. Here comes Berger. She's taken to the ice. She's on top of it now, trying to pull the trigger on a shot. Tangled up from behind. The puck leaks out beyond the blue line. A stick there sends it right back in. Right back out to neutral ice. Little carries in and still has it. She centers in front to Brown. Brown real tips and puts a nice tip on that time, and a save is made by Samantha Barato.
Nice job by Little. She had determination. She was able to get that puck in and then beat the forecheck and be able to poke check that away and get it over to Brown.
Barato comes in with a goals against of 3.35 as you get another look at that tip. Good setup by Little. Attempted to Brown, and I'll tell you, seeing Brown back just makes things feel, I think, you got to think solidified on that first line, that they've been juggling a lot since her injury that occurred during that loss. Fourth game of the season, the Gentry Academy. Dropping it there, Engler now finally a wrister through traffic, did not make it through traffic. It hit the defender of the Lightning, and now working it back around. Madsen doing a lot of work there. She blocks another. That's the one thing I noticed was shots that are blocked by this squad. It's amazing the amount of shots they get down. And there's a wrister just inside the blue line and a glove save. Sail there. That was Delage with the wrister.
Well,
and Barato with the glove save.
Yeah, and you can see the defense and even it just collapsing down and not allowing those lanes to open up for the Huskies.
Bishop, one of the leaders, Jazzy Bishop, number 22 for the Lightning. She has 12 block shots on the season. Time that Madsen bringing them from behind. Now to the far wall is Ryala. Ryala then tried to get it to her center that time, DeBay, and it's blown up at neutral ice, and now DeBay gets it back, fans, but the shot still goes on net and forces Stagman to make that save. Mentioned Stagman with 8 shutouts this season, and Barato has one of her own. Versus Northern Tier was a 9-0 victory that night. She has 456 minutes between the goal. They switch off a lot between Barato and Toivonen. Moving there, good shot. Sawyer puts it up. Thought maybe she could get a tip. She regathers with the puck up top. Low slot now as it ricochets down. Mum is there. Mum so strong on that puck. Controls her wrister here, slithers by and went up top that time, and just missing on that shot attempt here. Huskies try to pinch in and really starting to buzz and swarm here. It's a team, the Huskies, with 3 solid scoring lines, and fourth also doing a great job of checking and contributing when needed as well. A breakout here. Up there, and you see kind of that effect sometimes from a Lightning team that has been doing a lot of travel, as Jim mentioned, and here late in this first period. The Huskies play at a pretty crisp pace, and they'll send it back in. That there's one player who likes that crisp pace, and that's Mercury Bischoff. And when we spoke with Coach Brad Hyduk before the game, he's like, she's great as a winger. She can work it up and down the ice. But skating against the speed that the Huskies have and the defense that has that ability to slow you down will be a challenge for her tonight.
Yeah, you're on defense so much that it takes your offense. You takes your offense out of play just because you're chasing skaters.
Trying to work it up and out is Mackenzie Jones. Puts it on the stick of Gettle. Gettle chasing the puck here. Bischoff now has it, and she'll snap it off the boards up just beyond the blue line. This one is lofted in. Truckee, that was a really tricky bounce that time. And, Barado was able to handle it, but she'll secure it with the glove save. Huskies first line. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I was going to say that, not only is Bischoff, but Reed also, you had mentioned earlier, her dad, a hockey immortality, 100-point scorer.
On the doorstep, almost unable to get the tip. Looking for it there was Berger. Berger on her way to St. Thomas University.
It's almost
Seniors night tonight, by the way. And so
it's like a farm team for right now for St. Thomas.
You're right. Madison. Brown looks to the corner, trying to settle it.
Oh.
She's been contributing. Good pass, tape to tape behind it. Gettle tries to set it up and bring it short side, or set up a teammate there in front on the deflection. Little brings it down deep. High slot shot. Looks for the rebound. Brown. The shot was just off the mark. Taken by Jones. Jones has it again. She's got that heavy shot. There's one wrister. That's off the mark by Little. Holding the zone is Jones. She's battling, looking for it, and coming over to help out is Berger. She brings it along the board, goes behind the net, and heads to the bench for that line change. You'll see if they can get the rest of that first line off as they work the exchange. Thorson is there, deflects. Now it's Gettle who picks it up. Gettle feeds it back down to Thorson. Gettle heads to the bench to complete that line change, and that will allow some other teammates to come in. McQuay coming in, also far side. Olsen. A quick shot, knocked down, loose puck. Work to the side board. And now redirected back out as Quay. Quay tries to put some pressure on. Thorson going to try a wraparound. No, she takes that backhand behind the net. Now to the far point. A wrister almost gets through. It did get through, but not through to the back of the net. Deflected there by Alvarado. Barado getting blistered with numerous good scoring opportunities as the Huskies bring it right back in again. Thorson drops it back up. Delage has it here, cross ice. Turns it along and working it back behind to the corner. Andover with 90 seconds left to go in this first period. Both teams looking for goal number one. Pinching in is Delage. Back behind to Thorson. Thorson tips it back. Trying to lift the stick was McQuay. And now poked at that time, but not successful as Olsen. Now a 2-on-1 chance here. A wrister deflected. Nice play defensively by Delage. Delage that time enough to be in position so the shot didn't even make it through the Stegman. Into the corner here, and you see a good work up on the near board. Crossing center ice and sending it in deep is McQuay. Poke check that. Now it ends up back on the stick of Engler. Engler leaves it there for Little, who had the momentum coming in. A hard wrister, follow up by Little. 2 shots and 2 saves. And then the third time, Barado is content with just pouncing on that puck.
You've got we're almost to the end of the first period. Shots are 10-6, but the scoring opportunities and the block shots that you had mentioned the Lightning have done have really been the difference.
Here you see Little's initial shot and the follow-up on that replay. Into the corner. Poking at it now, Christensen. Sauer was going to come over to help out, but it was lifted up near the blue line, but holding it. Engler down low now to Sauer. Sauer wanted a little tic-tac-toe combination. This one puts it on, and the save is made once again. You can see Samantha Barato making some fantastic saves as the Huskies have been sniping here late in the first period. Engler on the backhand. Oh, look, Sauer's looking for it. High up, set up, eludes the blue line, hustling over. There's Jones to defuse a breakaway opportunity. The shot at center ice is on, and Stegman makes that save, and we are at the end of this first period. Goose eggs. No score for both of these teams. I'm not sure the last time we've seen that.
Yeah, and really the difference is Samantha Barato, who's really stopped everything that's come in front of her. She's had deflections. They've been in close. They've been out front. It has been a tough night sledding so far, but we're still tied at 0. Who knows what comes out of the next period?
Hey, well, don't go far, because we're going to bring you the second period here as the Andover Huskies, 15-3, hosting the Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning in girls high school hockey here on QCTV.
Welcome to our winter edition of At the Half, the show where we take a closer look at some of our area high school sports. I'm your host, Chuck Stens. Andover boys and girls hockey look to capitalize on their outstanding dual state championships last year. In order to continue their success into this season, let's talk with the head coaches from both teams to see what the teams have to bring.
I'm Melissa Volk, and this is my 10th year at Andover. Our expectations are kind of similar every single year to be getting better, as the season goes and be playing our best hockey come February. We're a year older. Last year we were super young with so many freshmen on the team, and now kids are kind of filling some different roles and kind of figuring it out this year. Our captains, Ella Berger, Isa Gettel, Maddie Brown, that top line of ours, and then also Kaylin Mum back at D, Courtney Stegman, our goalie, but then a lot of other players that fill some huge roles for us and give us that depth that we need. Yeah, so every game, we kind of get excited for, and another opportunity to play with our teammates and whatnot. But tomorrow we play Minnetonka, so that's a big game. And then we're in the Dyna tournament after Christmas. Yeah, we love our youth girls. We're so lucky to know all of them on such an individual basis. But the biggest thing that we preach here is just working hard and having a good attitude.
My name's Mark Manny. I'm the head coach of the boys hockey team at Andover High School. Well, last year's team, a lot of our skill up front was underclassmen. And when you have underclassmen leading your team on offense, they don't feel the pressure that seniors feel. So they tend to kind of play loose and play very well. Seniors sometimes get the feeling it might be their last game if they lose, and sometimes that leads to not playing well. So we had the perfect combo last year of great senior leaders who were calm under pressure and juniors who played free. We'll see what we have this year. Our best players are going to be seniors this year, and sometimes, like I say, that's not a great recipe, and sometimes it is. So we hope our young guys get better every game, and then we get good leadership, and I think this team will be pretty good by the end of the year. Well, up front, our three big guys are Gavin Thorson, Caden Casey, and Cooper Conway. Casey and Thorson both had over 70 points last year. Conway was hurt about half the year, so he had his offensive numbers didn't look quite as impressive, but they're going to be our leaders up front. Throw in senior Mac Yell, and we're looking for big things offensively from him, and junior Ben Dahl as well. And after that, we're going to see who steps forward and kind of takes the mantle and runs. On the backside, Tristan May Robinson, senior captain, who's been a stalwart for us for 2 years now, and will be again for a third. And then Landon Stringfellow, a junior who played a regular shift last year and is getting better by the day. Back in the net, We lost Austin Bronze, who was probably the best goalie in Minnesota last year. So we're just looking for who's going to step forward and take that job. We've got 4 very capable goalies, and any of them could be our starter by the end of the year.
The Tornadoes have some new dedicated members of their cheerleading squad. Let's check in with them to learn some more.
I started coaching this year. I used to coach at a different school for an elementary competitive team, so this is kind of a switch up, but I really like it.
My name is Jordan Waldinger, and I've been coaching here for 4 years. I'm going to be going on 5. I came here to be the assistant coach just right after I graduated high school, so I've been here for a bit.
Last year was kind of rough for us. We had a lot of drama, a lot of issues, but I feel like this year we have the most committed and hardworking team that I've ever seen.
Yeah, we are this is some of the most hardworking girls I've ever met. They're so committed, they want to win, they want to be here every day, they want to put in the work, and they want to get that bid.
I think there's just more energy, more effort, so I just think this team is just miles different than it was last year. They want to be here. I can tell they want to be here. They want to put in the work. They're putting in work outside of practice.
Yeah, the drive is really good. I enjoy it.
We learned from our middle school coaches that were old Anoka cheerleaders that learned different ways and different techniques and stuff. And basically, when we got our new coach, Caitlin, she brought in some new cheers that she did with her old team.
Also cheers that she had learned in high school herself.
Yeah.
So cheers end up kind of just being a big collaboration of what ends up working for the team and like what we like the most.
Our pyramids that we do in our competitive routine, we have performed them at football games just to kind of practice it in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And we've done a couple of routines at Pet Fest.
I think games that we cheer at, I feel that's more performing, and competitions I do view as like competing. Like it's more intense.
Our first competition of the year usually is regionals, and it's always the Saturday before Halloween. And then after that we have competitions usually on Saturdays, every weekend or every other weekend kind of after that.
Until like late February when Nationals is.
When I got hired, that was my goal to the AD, I would like to take this team to nationals. That's a huge goal for coaches as well.
Yeah.
So.
Coaching this team, we've gotten 2 bids, I think, and we just haven't gone yet. So I think that's always my goal.
Nationals. We want to get to nationals. Yep.
The Rebels gymnastics team is committed to setting goals and improving throughout the season. Let's see what the team is up to and how they plan to seek success this winter.
We're down a bit, but I've always said I want to work with athletes who will work hard. Like if you love gymnastics and you work hard, that's who I want to work with. And we've got a core group of great girls. We've got an awesome senior leader in Melina Ung. I don't know anybody that's worked harder. So it's been a pleasure to coach her, and she's already been an awesome, invaluable captain, and I know that will keep going through the season.
We lost about half of our team, I'd say, and then we got a lot of new middle schoolers, which is really nice, so that we have a really young team right now, and I think the season will be really fun. We have our summer practices, and then we also do, I try to do monthly team bondings over the summer before season started.
So the technique is the thing that takes a little bit more time and repetitions to build, and well, really all those things, strength, flexibility, but the strength and flexibility are what we really focus on as a coaching staff. Of those are things we can control. If you're doing your splits daily and really working it, you'll get more flexible. If you're doing shoulder stretches, and we do partner shoulder stretches and a lot of different stretches, you'll get more shoulder flexibility. So the strength and flexibility we focus on a lot. We focus a lot on improvement. So it's always a goal of ours with both our varsity and JV to have the team from that first meet to the end meet improve 8 to 10 points. And last year I think we got almost to 12 with the varsity and I think maybe even 13 with the JV. So those continue to be our goals. So this year we're just focusing on rebuilding those good team habits and that mentality towards improvement. And, we're going to try and beat those teams that are at that same level that we're at and show that we worked to be our best on that day.
That's it for this edition of At the Half. Make sure to keep up to date with all your local sports coverage by liking and subscribing to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Thanks for watching.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
He's teasing us.
Welcome back to Friday Night Lights on this QCTV sports presentation. Joe Rillen along with Jim Childs. And this is the Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning squad traveling to Andover to take on the Huskies, last year's Class 2A state champion. No score after this first period. But I'll tell you, Grand Rapids, a team that has some get up and go, Jim, and they had some good scoring opportunities. Both goalies, phenomenal in that first period.
Yes, absolutely. Stagman on a couple of redirects that she was able to keep. One by Reed right at about midway through the first period. And Beretta, she was outstanding. She had to be on her toes the entire period.
For the Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning squad, after tonight, their season just has 3 games left, Jim.
Yeah.
It ends quickly. And again, the reason why this is just a great game and good coverage is the fact that these two teams potentially could meet in the section final.
Yes, absolutely. So, and we mentioned they've been on Superior. They were in Superior on Tuesday, Bemidji yesterday, Andover today. This is a road-weary group, and that's kind of what happens when you live in the 218.
Well, I grew up in the 507.
And you have to be road-weary there, but different roads, just unpaved roads, right?
Yes, dirt roads. So we're back here as Lightning will be moving left to right. Gotta like those Lightning uniforms.
Oh, they're awesome. The pad, the 218 patch is outstanding. It covers both schools. Really nice.
And you're a former 218er.
I am, and very proud of it.
Second period here, and Gettle moves it up. Gettle on her way to University of Minnesota. Play with the Golden Gophers next season. She's had an outstanding career. We'll talk about that here throughout this period as well. A good wrister, a save made. Shot coming back, not catching everything on that, and it deflects and heads back on the shot attempt by Angeletti. 90 shaking it down deep. You get a look. Busy has been on defense there with Madsen. Now in front of Skirm there. Quick shot save. Final up. Freezing the puck. Brown on that back door looking for a tally, but not to be had.
Well, that's one of the classic plays that the Andover Huskies, where they kind of drag that person right into the center. And Greenway, Grand Rapids Greenway, has done a great job of covering up that centering pass.
Face-off will come just to the left. Parado. They get the picture back in the scores. The Huskies jump up 1-0.
I think that's Hannah. Nope.
Do you think that's Engler?
It's Engler.
Maya Engler picks up the goal, her 12th of the season. We're chuckling in case you missed it during the first intermission or first period. In every game that she has scored the first goal of the game, Andover has taken a loss. But I'll tell you, she's a worker, and she got that goal.
She's a sensational
on
player.
the back of the net. So 12th goal for her of the season, and Andover jumps out on a 1-0 lead here early in the second period.
A chance to break some streaks, right?
And you got it. Good time for that. I mentioned Andover this season, 12-3 when they score the first goal of any game. Leading the team in first goals. Well, there's 3 of them at that point in Berger. There's also another one with 3 goals. Engler circles back. Now up ahead to Christensen. Christensen along the near board. Now directs back to the corner. Freezing up. Good scoring attempt there again. And Barado holds on to the puck and freezes. A little smaller in stature than what you see from Stagman.
Yeah.
But Barado, very agile.
Yeah,
very quick.
Yeah, good lateral movement with that. Just for if you're scoring at home, that was Sauer and Christensen that got the helpers on that. So that was Maya Engler from Sauer and Christensen.
For Sauer, her 11th apple of the season. For Christensen, assist number 6 on the season. Andover pressuring again here. This time it's Thorson behind the net. Tries to feed a one-timer to Mum. That time she fans. Didn't get everything she wanted, did Mum. It directs to the corner. Now trying to set it right back up at the near point. Back behind is Thorson. Thorson has a couple of Lightning players that are trailing her on the plane. Hale at the far point. Now back under to the corner. Trying to work their way out. Both teams are at full strength, but Madsen is trying to work the puck out. Pitching in with a blast at the blue line, and that was Delage. Forced to make that save was Barado. And she's on a catch and release. Caught it, released it, and get the puck moving. Shot here by Thorson. Hits traffic in front, unable to make its way through. And on the edge through the neutral zone. And that's where Delage will pick it up.
That's been a really productive line. That Thorson line has been a very productive line tonight for the Huskies.
Yeah, and you're right. Thorson moving up from the defense. There's a shot. Scores! She got a top shelf. Put her with a peanut butter. Berger lights the lamp, and that was a good old-fashioned snipe for Berger. Her 19th goal of the season.
That was almost the exact same goal that she scored in the championship game 15 seconds in against Minnetonka. She is good right from that area, right inside the circle.
Jumping up now 2-0. And sometimes when you're playing those Huskies, first period you come out a lot of energy and you're getting at it. And Green and the Lightning have some speed. They have some get up and go and horsepower as well. But hitting that second period and hitting that second gear, the Huskies, they have a tendency to wear down teams.
Yeah, you're going. They're 3 lines deep, and all 3 lines are very good.
Back behind there, sending it back deep was Jones. Now they'll work it out. They'll get it by Jones. Now the far side. Here's a chance breaking in. A chance for the Lightning on the backhand, and Bagman makes that save. Good pressure by Reed. She had a breakaway attempt. Back comes Berger again. Berger Tries to drop this one back for Brown. Brown was in a little further down than what she anticipated. Dropped it off in that high slot. She was already in that low slot. 13 and change to go here in this second period. It's a 2-0 lead.
Jones and Brown on the assists on the Berger goal.
So I'll tell you, that's the aspect of Brown. We talked about Madison Brown being gone most of the season. For her, this is her 8th game of the season, and she's got 5 goals and now 5 assists. The key thing, she's also got 4 power play goals this year, does Brown. Last season, she had 25 goals, 36 assists, and 13 power play assists.
Yeah, she's strong in those special teams.
To the corner now, just inside the blue line. Working it back down, and now here's Sauer circling, top of the face-off circle. Shot from the dot, and it's a rebound that's corralled that time by Barato, and she will hold on to this. And she is really starting to feel that buzz. The Huskies had a 2-shot lead, I think, at the start of this first period, at the end of the first period, 10-8, but they've outshot the Lightning 7-1. The only shot so far on goal has come on that breakaway by Reed, and Stegman made that save. Thanks for all to hear from all the viewers and listeners here tonight on this QCTV Friday Night Light Sports presentation from the Andover Community Center. Earlier this year here, we had a chance to host the WCHA game, the Minnesota Golden Gophers and St. Cloud State Huskies. Jim and I had a chance to call that. That was an explosive night. They had tickets for sale for an hour, and they sold out 1,500 seats. There's some pressure on the side, and now trying to work their way up and work around. They off the board. That's a DeBay. DeBay trying to get a trigger going. Ryala's out in front of the net. Now Ryala's going to go over, and we got a penalty.
Angeletta will go to the box for a hook. The second power play for the Lightning. And
here you get a look. Yep, a chance to see, but see what the Lightning can do with their second attempt on the power play. Again, they came in with a power play proficiency of 18%. They were 14 of 75 coming into this game. Now 14 of 76 as they get their chance to score their 15th power play. One weird hop off the carom. There's Berger looking for a scoring opportunity. He's a shorty. Looking there in front to the side. Tried to jam it between the pad and the post, and that's deflected. And now it is the Lightning working their way out. Good stick handling there, but just beyond the reach that time of Bischoff as it leaked off of her stick. Huskies able to clear. Forcing it back there is Jazzy Bischoff. Jazzy's the cousin of Mercury Bischoff.
And that is some Grand Rapids royalty, hockey royalty right there.
Into the corner now, trying to find some daylight. DeBay there, now to the corner. Trying to get it out to that near point because that's where Mercury Bischoff was, but pickpocketed there by Gettle, and Gettle's got an engine. She keeps the puck going. She's looking underneath, and now it's taken off of her stick. Up the center ice. Standing there is Delage, and Delage sends it in, and she'll give chase on the penalty kill. 45 seconds left on the power play opportunity here for the Lightning. A breakout there, a backhand out to clear the zone by Olsen, and Engler is trying to chase down the puck on this penalty kill. Skating back in, Pierce. Pierce had it momentarily. Now she'll try to reacquaint herself with the puck. Unable to get there first, but they're able to ring it along the board and hold the zone here. Just 15 seconds left. A shot from the point of the face-off circle, rather. That was taken by Matson, but it was secured there in goal.
This penalty kill has been outstanding for the Huskies so far tonight. They have really dictated the tempo. And especially with the forecheck that they've been able to use in the Greenway zone.
Huskies win that faceoff and send it out of the zone through the neutral ice. Matson is shadowed, setting up shot by Gettle. Beautiful setup by Berger. And Gettle's shot is a quick flinch save that time by Barato. Boy, that was a quick twitch save. Traffic's shot here from the near point. Hits Traffic back at full strength now, Andover, and they're going to be waving off this ice. Bischoff trying to get something going. And now back out front, trying to lift one short range, and Stegman has the technique and handles that save and does not allow the rebound.
Yeah, Sherlock with a nice interception of the puck and gets a turnover and puts it right into Stegman.
Elliott and Tony on the shoot here tonight from the Andover Ice Arena. Ryan back at the studio. Thanks, everyone. We have 9:20 to go in a rapid-moving second period. Andover's jumped out to a 2-0 lead. A goal by Engler and by Berger, looking for the third. Brown here, a tip pass that time, just missing. Nice setup by Madison Brown to Berger. Now in front is Gettle, and Gettle cannot strike that puck loose. She was digging it out, but a save made and secured by Barato.
You know, we've seen this. We're lucky since we've been in Andover for the last 3 years, but this line, it's just got that dynamic chemistry. They know where they are on the ice, and that one right there, Brown right over to Gettle, and somehow that didn't go, or over to Berger, and somehow it didn't get in.
Gettle, I have this as her 101st game. Jim, what do you have?
101st. You're absolutely right.
101st game, and her stats for the career as a senior night, it's been outstanding.
Yep.
And we've got to hear in the next stop at your whistle from your trivia question on Twitter earlier today.
Yes, let's get some answers.
Angelotti goes to the ice and trying to take advantage of her on the ice and trying to feed it out front. The chance there. Feigned shot, pad save, goes to the corner. Oh, that was Bishop Mercury with that shot waved over top of the puck on a centering attempt. That time by, that looked like Moran. Now back out through the neutral zone, pickpocketed there. Pierce has it, she sends it off. And Bishop now tries to control as she is trapped there by Mumm. Drop pass at that near point. Pierce sends a shot to the corner, and that's controlled back once again. And the Huskies get it back out. Center ice, and a shot sent right on. Forced to make a save to that shot by Jazzy Bishop. Out behind, trying to feed someone coming in that near and far side, but unable to connect that time as looking at backside with Sherlock.
Good hustle by Christensen.
Drop Pierce, deflects off the skate of the defense, and it goes right on goal. Barato has to make this save, a 2-0 lead, and that time it was a passing attempt by Andover. It went off the skate of the defender.
And it was created by Christensen. Christensen was able to get a stick on a pass and then look out front. Sauer skating up there. That line has been really, really good.
Well, speaking of really good, how about some scoring? Hunter, who's been some of the top scorers? And your trivia question earlier today.
So our trivia question was 5 scores with the career points of 100 on the Huskies. That top line, obviously, of Gettle, Berger, and Brown, all over 100, which is amazing. And then for Greenway, for Grand Rapids Greenway, Mercury Bishop, we mentioned it, but also Kaylee Reed over 100 points, and Molly Pierce at 92. So some career scoring and veterans on the ice.
Snipers all over the ice tonight. I don't feel safe at all. 7 and change to go here in the second period. Andover and 2 goals here early in the second period. This is a wrister, hits Traffic in front, but that was Madsen just trying to protect herself on a hard wrister. That time taken by Little. Moving inside of the net and goal here. That's the Huskies. They're redirected back. Now the puck floats to that far corner. Madsen is back there again. Dunleavy trying to come over to disrupt the puck and dig it out in the corner. Pinching in is Jones. Trying to contribute and take possession. Dunleavy digs at it again. One of the, I believe I have 6 seniors on this squad. I could be wrong. For the Huskies on senior night. There's Dunleavy. Tries to direct it, now sends it to the corner. Good spot with it with Berger with it on her stick. She wants to drop it to a cutting Gettle, and that's dislodged and sent just beyond the blue line. Little now carries in. Little eludes a check, tries to drop it there, deflects off the stick of Barato, and it's circled back with Berger. Berger, far side, shot here, save, and I don't know if it made it to the goalie, but the shot by Jones. Jones has it back, sends it cross ice, trying to connect with Delage. Disrupting it, now trying to clear, unable to do so. Pinching in is Berger again from the face-off circle. A dangle on the move, a little toe drag dangle, and she unleashed a snipe that went over top of the crossbar. Gettle working there, and the Huskies just doing a peer-out buzz of the net right now. Finally, able to clear it and skate it out is Bischoff. That's Mercury, but she'll lose the puck as it rolls off of her stick. A cutter now, a good pass to Berger. Berger cuts back across the grain and just misses on another Whistler on the far side. Going for that far post, they're just inside. She just missed it. We had a great angle on that shot. Here comes Gettle. Gettle skates in, puts up a wrister, and that one misses the net, unable to hold the zone. His Mum, and Mum takes it back to center ice. Puts it there on the stick of Delage. Delage rinsing along the board, and there's going to be Gettle getting there first. Delage now at the near point, looking for it, drops it back. Mum has it. Mum sets it back. An extended shift here for Berger. On the doorstep is Gettle trying to deflect and freezing the puck. There's Barato, and sheer head has to be pure spinning right now. 4:50 to go in the second period.
Yeah, the Huskies are definitely putting on the pressure. You know, on each line comes out, and they have a little different philosophy, but the chemistry and the hustle is there. The intensity that the Huskies are looking for this late in the season.
Definitely intense when you're on that ice. It goes at an unbelievable level of horsepower. Leaks out. There's Jones. Kicks it over. Little with this shot. Deflects. Goes off the mark. Racing to the corner. Get in there first, the Huskies. And they'll try to dig it out. That's Olsen. Coming over to help out Olsen. His line mate McQuaid. And this puck leaks beyond the blue line after reached for there by Thorson. Thorson recircles at the neutral zone, and now she'll carry in. Continues with it. And now Thorson still circles back. She's got some great genes in that family. Two other brothers, both of her older brothers have played high school hockey here. Another will be joining St. Cloud State next year as a senior on the hockey team here for Andover. Deflects to the corner, and Thorson heads down on top of one of the other players for the Lightning. The Lightning just trying to settle the puck, but the Huskies controlling. They are really having some impressive possessions here. On the doorstep, shot here, scores, and looking for the puck. They're looking for it under the pads. Finally, it bounces off her side. I was looking for it. Everyone is like, you're looking under the rug. You're looking everywhere. The goalie,
Barato was looking for it. She didn't know it was. Yeah.
She's been facing enough biscuits all the second period. The last thing you have to do is spin around, but it's a critical time now. A 2-goal lead. 1 goal, you can cut that deficit in half if you're the Lightning. But the Huskies have been pressuring. Face off, and Engler wins that along with the Huskies. Pinching in is Mum. Mum gets it back to Engler in the corner. Looking to center. Resetting. Now it's coming back. Christensen there. A quick wrister by Mum. Goes up top. It just kind of pops off her stick. Again, Mum skating in here. Looks for the shot. Gets it. Gets the rebound as well. But cleaning up the Lightning, and they can move it off and away from any backdoor cleanup rebound goals by the Huskies. They're forced back as Andover in their own end, and now the breakout comes Engler. Engler has Sauer to her right. She now has the puck. Shot from the dot. That deflects to the near corner. And giving chase is Sauer and Christensen. Also over there, Engler. Still with it now. Christensen takes this shot, hits traffic, deflects into the corner. 2.5 left in the second period. Uses the skate to settle the puck. Now they try to deflect it on, and we'll get a face-off. Barato. Enough.
Hey, Duke, has got to be a little. You've got to figure out how do you get some offense going. You're constantly under attack. You want to start to stretch, get some kind of, breaking forward on a stretch pass, but you can't because you need them back on the, in front of the goal.
Absolutely. It's funny because you talk about those shot attempts, and the Huskies, here's another need to know. The only game that they were outshot in this year is a game that they won. They were outshot 32-30 in their first meeting against Minnetonka. Again, it's 32-30 in which they were outshot, but they still won that game. Everything else they've outshot every team. Now poke checked off the stick, trying to work it in deep as Reed to try to get a scoring attempt. Back again to Bishop. Mercury tried to settle the puck. She certainly has in this line the ability to put the puck in the net. This line certainly has combined for a total of 58 goals this season. There's Reed with the shot. Pad save is made there by Stagman. Mom looking for the puck. It's between her skates, holding the zone nicely that time by the Lightning, but not for long. That was Pierce on the attempt. And we'll get an offside. Well, we talk about the 58 goals scored by that first line for the Lightning. For Andover, Gettle, Berger, and Brown have combined on this season for a total of 33 goals. Make it 34 now.
That's an impressive, and they've been doing it for a number of years. These three have really set the standard.
Last year, this team, the Huskies, 33-0, and they outscored their opponents on their way to their second state title. They outscored their opponents 162-30 last year.
Well, I'll steal your. I think that's adequate.
Adequacy at its modest. Circling back here is Little's sister. Also playing some. Kennedy Little is playing some college hockey as well. We'll talk about all the connects between these two schools and who's playing at Division I these days. And Andover certainly has a host, and there's several as well for the Lightning. And we're going to get
got a penalty going to Grand Rapids.
First penalty of the second period for the Lightning, and that's going to go to number 7 in LeClaire.
Yep.
Huskies will get their second power play opportunity, unable to capitalize. In that first period, Andover again at a 28% proficiency on the power play. Just a minute left here in this second period. Andover can try to extend that lead, but again, keep in mind, Jim, a great fact that you pointed out, how many shorthanded goals do the Lightning have this season?
Yeah, they've got 10 so far, so they can be very dangerous, and they could get themselves back into this game with just one little interception.
I like their setup on the penalty kill, that diamond formation through the neutral zone that Coach Hajduk has in place. There's Mum walking it down. Goal! Beautiful setup, a little tic-tac-toe goal, and Mum puts it down to tape of Berger, and Berger lifts this top shelf just under the crossbar, and Berger has her second goal of the game and her 20th goal of the season.
What a great, she is so deadly. And in that, got it right onto her stick, and she knew exactly where she wanted to go. A beautiful pass from Mum, and without hesitation puts it up top.
The pass from behind the net to Mum was also impressive, but the fact that Mum she has great hands, handles that puck, and then it was Berger beating Barato stick side on the power play goal. 20th of the season. Gettle with the assist, working the doorstep there. 9.8 seconds left in the second period. Andover now a 3-0 lead, and Gettle picks up that other dime, as it was Gettle who fed it to Mum. And Gettle had to weave some defenders to get that pass to Mum. Mum handled that well, tape to tape, and finally over to Berger, who snipes home her second goal of the game, the first power play goal of the game. And we have come to 2 complete periods. 3-0 lead here for the Huskies after 2 complete, Jim.
Yeah, and shots were fairly even after that first period. Now in the second period, 19-4, the Huskies outshot the Lightning. The third period, the Huskies come out and they're skating as hard as they are. This could be a decisive victory for them.
For Berger, we're going to get that for you as well. Career goals for both of those, and since it's senior night, we got to celebrate how many in the career. So it is a 3-0 lead, 3 tallies for the Andover Huskies here in the second period. They've jumped out to a 3-0 lead after 2 complete. We will return for the third period from the Andover Community Center in just a moment on this QCTV Sports presentation.
I'm Allison Griffith. I am the owner of Allison's Petite Pastries here in Ramsey, Minnesota. We have been open for 2 months now, and it's been going amazing thanks to the wonderful community of Ramsey. One of my specialty things that I have here are called petite gâteaux. It's kind of hard to pronounce, but it's a petite gâteau, so it means little cake in French. It is essentially a mousse element, something crunchy into it, a fruit element, a fruit curd, different elements like that create this thing. And what it is it's meant for like one person kind of thing. So with the petite, making things cute and tiny, but I also wanted to go for like the more individualized desserts. So behind me you can see all of the gorgeous petite gâteaux that I have. I kind of do a little play on different things, like there is like a brownie in there called Out of This World Brownie. It's amazing. It's the best brownie. Double chocolate, layer of fudge, layer of ganache, and then my favorite little cosmic sprinkles on top too. So it's something familiar for the city and for people around here to kind of familiarize themselves with. And then I've got my cheesecake, which is like, I will die with that recipe. It's the best cheesecake. I can turn any person who does not like cheesecake, after they try mine, they're hooked. My dad is requesting this year a French silk pie for Christmas, so we will definitely be doing that. The cookie boxes will be back with the 2 different sizes. Great for company parties, great for just having all the neighbor kids out in your yard making a bunch of snowmen and then having some cookies for them as well. The nice thing about those is we'll have kind of, the macaroons in there too for a nice gluten-free option as well. We'll have kind of our classic pack. Obviously my favorite Linzer cookies will be in there as well too. We'll just have kind of tons of stuff. We'll always have case cakes in there and cake pops that are themed. I literally can't wait to turn this bakery from Thanksgiving to Christmas in like a couple hours. So I'm very excited about that. The community has been absolutely incredible. I could not believe it. I literally, the days leading up to grand opening day, I was like, nobody's gonna show up. Nobody's gonna show up. They don't know who I am. It was absolutely incredible. Every time I popped my head up here looking, I got tears in my eyes because I was like, I can't believe this many people want to come and support me, and it's been insane. They've supported me at my house. They've supported me since I've opened. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from the community saying that they just love having a bakery in their town, and that's all I wanted to do ever since I was a kid, was to bring the first bakery to my hometown. And with Ramsey, they've been so awesome and so supportive and so just 10 out of 10 of a community. I couldn't have asked for a better community. There's no other city I'd want to live in.
Hey, I'm Sarah Giving from the Anoka County Historical Society, and a little something you've walked past but never realized. Who's been to Billy's Bar and Grill? A lot of people, yeah. I bet you never realized the sides don't match. The entire building is asymmetrical. It just blew your mind. Go check it out, it's true. In the 1870s, the Jackson Hotel was built, but it was completely destroyed by a fire that swept through town in 1884. But that's a story for another time. C.G. Jackson, Charles Jackson, look at the top of the building. Very modest, put his name up there. He rebuilt, but he rebuilt smart in brick and in stages. So he rebuilt the middle section first, and then a year later, he rebuilt one side, and then 3 years after that, he rebuilt the other side. So if you take a look, stare at the front of the building, the sides don't match because they were built at different times. So one side has bigger windows, one side's even wider than the other, and the middle in one side has brick detailing that the third one doesn't. So a little tip of hidden architecture in Anoka. You walk past it all the time and you never knew.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
I taught for 20 years, but I started forgetting my lectures. Eventually, he had to quit. My therapist recommended we go to the doctor.
The early Alzheimer's diagnosis allowed us to take control of the situation.
He's been such a positive force and so loving. Thank you. You're welcome.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. Hello, I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. Please request our free guide filled with facts about dementia and ways you can keep your brain as healthy as possible. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. You want to live your life to the fullest, and we can help.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here. Jason, let's go see.
Welcome back to the Andover Community Center, home of the Andover Huskies. They have taken a 3-0 lead here tonight on QCTV Friday Night Lights. And Jim, tell us who scored, what happened, and the goals.
Well, the Huskies came out flying in that second period. Maya Engler scored the first goal. That's her fourth time this year. She's got four. Got the first goal for the Huskies, and an Ella Berger with a couple of snipes. I mean, absolutely beautiful shots right inside the circle. One of them, the last one, a power play, as the Huskies take a 3-0 lead coming into the third period against the Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning.
For Berger, it was goal number 19 and 20 of the season for her career. Where does that put her?
Well, that puts her, in rarefied air, as she now is sitting at 91 goals.
And a total of 188
points, yes.
We mentioned it purely because tonight it is, in fact, senior night. Also on the assist on the goal by Engler, she was assisted by Christensen and Sauer on her goal. The two assists were, first off, for Berger on her first goal. She was assisted by Brown and also by Jones on the assist. Berger's second goal, the power play goal, assist on that went to Mum and also to Gettle. Out of the gate, coming at it. Gettle trying to get a little something on their own on that push-up ice, and Berger was pressuring as well. So trying to jump out front. It's the Andover Huskies, 15-3-0, taking on the Lightning from Grand Rapids Greenway. Both of these two could potentially meet in the section championship coming up in just a few weeks. After tonight's game, the Lightning will have just 3 other games remaining. Andover on the other end has about another 6 games left in their regular season. They are, as I mentioned, 15-3 back now. Here comes the Lightning as they try to find a remedy to get a little mojo going here in the third. The Huskies jumped out and jumped early into that second period to get the first goal, and countered shortly thereafter for the second. Centering attempt there by Brown is disrupted, picked up, and now on the stick of Bischoff. Bischoff misses on the head pass ahead to Pierce. It goes to the corner and picked up on that loose change. Full head of steam coming via Little. Little still with it. Goes coast to coast, looks to side to find a backhand. Still with it. A complete 360. Behind it goes. Trying to get it free there. Christensen. Sauer on the ice now. Back to Christensen. Poke checked away. Put right on the stick of Little. Little was trending on that set as she brought it up only in the own end. Circled around. They had a poke check back to her at the near point. And she put the shot on goal. And Beretta made that save.
They're finishing up. The Huskies will be finishing up their in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Last time they lost in the Northwest Suburban Conference, 2018.
Well, off the board, moving in as Christensen puts a backhand. No one picked her up, so she said, I'll take it a couple more strides, unleash a backhand, and deflect it to the corner. Back the other way now as it moves and trying to control and get to that puck first. You see some of the speed there for the Lightning. It's tough not to be fast with a name like Lightning.
Yes, absolutely.
And in the corner there's Sauer. Sauer trying to feed a hitting Christensen. It floats out a far point shot here, and that's collected back to the corner. A hard shot by Jones. This is lifted back, and playing that puck will be Stegman. Courtney Stegman, sometimes you forget just how strong she is between the pipes. 15-3 this season. She's got 60 total wins on the season, on her career.
If I'm Coach Volk, I'm telling Mac Jones that she needs to shoot at least 5 times a game. I mean, she has got just a heavy shot, as you had mentioned.
I thought you were going to say 5 times a shift.
Right. Well, shift, whatever. Every time you get it, shoot.
Deflects back, trying to work their way up ice, but then it's sent right back into the Lightning end, and you just kind of get that effect. There's Thorson. See, there's the wave and the speed of this third line out there for the Huskies. Now it's chipped across the blue line through the neutral zone, and Delich has it. Delich circles up off the board.
I'd like to see this line get a goal tonight. They've really worked hard.
And that line is Bischoff, that first line. As I mentioned, she actually had Bischoff this season 6 goals versus Hibbing earlier this season, along with those 6 hat tricks. Poke check here, trying to settle.
Do you get 2 hat tricks for 6 goals? Just a double hat trick?
Can you believe that? 6 goals versus Hibbing. 6 hat tricks, 5 power play goals, 4 shorthanded goals. She also had 4 shorthanded assist goals. 62 points total, 5 game-winning goals. That's like several careers for many people.
Well, that's also the Hajduk's father is the coach there. There's a goal.
Score right there. Brown picks up the loose change, makes a deposit to the back of the net. And the Huskies. You always got to have goals, and the Huskies have goals. But the key thing to goals is completing those goals.
Yes.
And they close that one up, and Brown closes up. It was like a dime distributorship last year for the Huskies. I mentioned she had 36 assists. This time she makes a deposit. Puts it on the back door. Gettle got that rebound, kept working at it, as you can see here.
That's Berger, right from Berger.
And Gettle was looking for that rebound as well. Good setup by Gettle. Gettle with now 2 goals and an assist. And now here's a chance for Bischoff. Mercury takes it to the corner. And into the corner again. Trying to find a gap and some spacing, trying to send it out to the near point. It's disrupted there by Andover as they pitchfork it ahead. A 2-on-1 chance here. Berger sends it across, and a diving attempt by Berger, and a save is made by Barato. And Gettle trying to set up Berger on that attempt. Circling back again. A wrister over the top of the net. Ripped that time and just off the mark. A shot here. Quick rebound. Comes back off. And now circling again. Berger with possession. Takes a shot from the dot. Deflected over the top of the goal. And this one is going to be skated out by the Lightning. Poke checked at center ice off of her stick by Berger. Controlled by Gettle. Berger moves in. She looks for a snipe. That time it's deflected back. Madison on a backhand trying to put it at least to Gettle. She turns, fires, and unfortunately it went right down the middle. They had the defenders at each point until they'll reset. 11:40 to go. Andover has extended their lead now to 4-0 early here in this third period on the goal by Brown. For Brown, that would be her 6th goal of the season. This is just her 8th game. Career-wise, she's building quite the portfolio, is Brown, in terms of the number of career goals she has accumulated for this whole senior line. Deflected back, race to the puck ensues here. Diffusing it by a nice defensive play, at least disrupting it. And a shot and a scores. That time a turn fire, top shelf. Beautiful lifted goal that time by DeBay, I believe.
Yes, and DeBay's had a nice night. The freshman's got her 11th goal, but she has had a nice night in offensively for for the Lightning, and she's been electric in the Husky zone. All right, just turns around and just fires one.
It had appeared that Angeletti had diffused that scoring attempt, but good pressure, good stick-to-itiveness by Kylie DeBay. Got possession back, lifted it, turned, fired, just kind of a blind look at that shot attempt by Stagman, and she lifted it just under the crossbar. Beautiful goal. Again, goal number 11 for Kylie DeBay. Here's another wrister trying to counter a 4-1 lead. Now 2 goals, one by each team here in this third period. 10.5 to play here in this third period. Continuing to work it off and at half the wall. There's Engler. And an unassisted goal by DeBay. Still after it, Engler. And DeBay, a long shift that time, trying to get to the cross center ice and heads to the bench. 10 and change to go in this third period. Thanks for joining us on this QCTV sports presentation. Friday Night Lights from the Andover Community Center. Currently the number 2 ranked team in Class 2A. Looking to repeat as state champions. They've won 2 state champions in the last 3 years. To the corner, goes down hard. We're going to get a penalty.
Yep, checking. So the palms are up, but that was an obvious check.
So Reed will tally that one. This will be Huskies' 3rd power play opportunity tonight. They scored on their last power play. That was Berger. That came with less than a minute to go in that second period. That first line out there on this power play unit, and they add Engler at the near point. Didn't take long for a good look, but getting a stick on that puck and helping out was a chance there for the Huskies, but dismissed by Mercury Bischoff. She regathers that loose puck, sends it length of the ice. Here comes Mum. Mum drops it to Brown. Brown looks inside. It's deflected back to Gettle. Gettle saucer passes over to Berger. Give and go back again. Gettle puts the shot on. Shot. Goal. Oh, they waved it off at the last minute. It looked like that puck was just beyond the line, but no, they said it stopped short of the line. That's a great team effort as a whole by that Lightning squad. I don't know who for the Lightning got a stick on it to save it. Here comes another run in. A shot there by Berger, and looking for the puck and trying to poke at it was Gettle.
little discussion going on between LeClaire and Gettle right now.
Claire felt like he took exception to Gettle, but
they're both go to the box for miming. I don't know.
You can see, yeah. But, she was still looking for the puck. She was looking all around.
Yeah.
Gettle probably had some sort of sighting on that puck.
Yeah, the goalie
potted.
Yeah, Barado didn't know where it was at.
So both of them will get penalties, and so they'll probably do coincidental minors. Head coach Brad Hyduke having a conversation with the officials at this time, and 9 and change to go.
Brad's dad is the girls coach up in Hibbing, long time hockey coach.
So it's going to be coincidental minors.
And
looks like it was probably both for chirping.
All right, we've got another penalty going to Coach Hyduke right now. He just got like the basketball, just teed him up. They'll have a bench minor.
So if they were going to go back on that coincidental minor, would have stayed 5-on-4, but now a bench penalty here.
Yeah, so
number 23, it looks like, will serve that bench minor, and the timeout is called here by the Lightning. And that'll give us a chance also to talk about a look here at the Class 2A seedings and rankings. It's Minnetonka number 1, Andover number 2, followed by Gentry Academy 3, Edina 4, Hill Murray 5, Maple Grove also with the Northwest Suburban Conference and 6. So and Centennial Spring Lake Park is number 9.
Wow.
So you have some updates for us as well, Jim.
Well, you mentioned the Huskies have played just about every. I don't think they've played Spring Lake Park yet, but you talk about you can see right there on the rankings. The Centennial Spring Lake Park, the same one. St. Benilde's. They have not played Stillwater yet, or Holy Family, but their schedule is just unbelievable. So the Huskies right now have 6 players committed to D1, as you had mentioned. They have 9 players that are currently playing in Division I, and we had a chance to see a couple of them, as you mentioned, at the Hall of Fame game with the Huskies, or with the Huskies and the Gophers.
Hey, you got Jamie Nelson. She's at Mankato State. You also have Claire Budarak, also in her final year there. Not to mention about Paige Anderson up at Bemidji State. And also Peyton Hemp at the University of Minnesota. She is starring there, along with Gabby Kraus, University of Minnesota Duluth. Madison Clough, she's doing wonders and fantastic things at the University of St. Thomas, as is Madeline Jurgensen, just to name a few, and also Kennedy Little. She's at the University of Maine. And again, sister is playing out here tonight, also on defense. Courtney Little sister, but they're dropped the puck here, and you mentioned, Jim, it's been a culture that they have created over here for the last 7-8 years, as Melissa Vogt, now in her 9th season as head coach. She's nearing 200 wins herself as the head coach of the Andover Huskies.
Her sectional record is 24-3.
Unbelievable. 2-man advantage right now. Diamond formation defensively. Little takes the shot, but it deflects, flutters to the corner.
She could lose the next 21 years in a row.
Big blast, the scores! Unleashing the shot is Sauer. And I'm not sure if someone got a piece of it. I think Sauer, that was all the way. She had so much velo on that shot, unable to control it and prevent that thing from moving on in as Barado. But she has seen a lot, as I mentioned, rubber biscuits. And the Huskies quickly get one of the goals. And the good news is that they still have 1:23 left on the bench penalty, which was whistled on the Lightning. So they'll still have another power play. So the second power play goal of the night for Andover, and they now take a 5-1 lead with 8:28 to go, just beyond the midway mark here of this third period. They're going to add Christensen on this line for this power play. as Gettle is still in the sin bin. And for Sauer, that's her 12th goal of the season. She also has an assist to add to her scoring portfolio. Offside is whistled on the Huskies.
So the penalties that both players that were on the Quincy Miners was unsportsmanlike. It was a bench minor also that gave the Huskies the power play. The assist went to Thorson on that Sauer goal.
Nora Sauer, fabulous junior, I'll tell you. She also has 3 first goals this season. She's also a plus 32 on the season.
Wow.
Leader for the Huskies in that plus-minus category is Gettle, who's a plus 34. Wrister here on the power play. Follow-up is Madison Brown. Drops it here to Engler. Engler unable to get possession away from Bischoff, and Bischoff sends it length of the ice. Berger, for her career, I had her for a plus-minus of, she is a plus 202 for her career. Counting the 3 goals tonight, a plus 205. Down below is Brown. Brown was a plus 62 last year for the Huskies.
Yes. Those are just, those are 2K numbers.
Working at it in the corner. Brown circles there, looking ahead, dropping it down below. Back at full strength now, Lightning. Gettle also get a chance to get back on the ice. Berger now tries to find the puck as she disrupted. Now she finds it at the dot of the face-off circle and still manages to get a shot off. And making that save is Barato. And Barato is now up to saying she is...
got 34 saves tonight so far.
Yeah. So at the end of that first period, 10-8 shots on goal. So the Huskies have put up 30 shots since the start of period number 2. 6:51 to go. Thanks for joining us. Everyone across the Grand Rapids Greenway area, great to have you with us. And you got definitely a talented team. And as their season winds down, we'll see where sections align and who gets seated where. But at least right now, it looks as though I could envision this Grand Rapids team as a number 2 or 3 seed. Looking across, looking at going against the grain, rifling a shot off the mark there. We're going to get a penalty, a hooking penalty on Andover.
I think it's Dunleavy that's going to go, I believe. Nope, wrong. It's Delich. Merrill Delich.
Delich picks it up, and we'll get that set. So as you mentioned, Thorson on the assist on the most recent goal, number 5 for Andover. Shorthanded attempt here. Let's see what the Huskies do. Sometimes that open ice favors them on her rear, and Breezers. Burgers puts it right on the stick of Gettle. Gettle still with it. Gettle elusive. Puts a saucer pass. Scores! Oh! What a crisp bang penalty that was. Whoa, what a goal. Bam! A beautiful saucer pass, and with precision it's tipped in by Courtney Little, her 6th goal of the season. And it took just 16 seconds for the Huskies to trigger that goal on this penalty kill.
That was amazing. Gettle just looked like she was wasting, trying to take the seconds off the penalty. She just rifles that pass.
Nice saucer pass here. And sticks it across, but also just great hands on the other side to clamp down Courtney Little with a defender shadowing her. And Andover now 6-1 lead with 6 minutes to go in this third period. And still 1:30 on the power play remaining here for the Lightning. And you're just seeing that open ice is always such an advantage for Andover.
And Gettle's just deadly when she's got an opportunity with that puck. Here she goes again.
Bishop had it, now coming back. A shorty attempt here for Gettle. Goal! She gets one. Lighting the lamp, and now it is a 7-1 lead. 2 shorthanded goals for the Andover Huskies late here in this third period. And I'll tell you, they are ITZ in the zone.
Yeah, that very. What a great pass. I believe that was Berger that was able to hit that stretch pass.
Well, and Berger was on her breezers on that first goal that Gettle assisted on.
That's Mac Jones, or I can't.
We'll take a look and we'll get the rating here. But for Gettle on the season, that's her 11th goal, her career goal now.
So we'll have
career goal for Gettle is a goal 68. And she also has 2 additional assists. Her points are tallying up. She came in with a career of 160 points. Tonight she's got 3 more points, at least, for 163 total. But you can just tell they just love that open ice.
Yeah.
And they just play so well together as a unit. Gettle chasing behind, and that's Madsen. Madsen trying to feed it up ahead. Now they have it. Far side. It's the Lightning trying to counter here. Under 5 to play, third period. Circling all the way around was Pierce. She drops it there for Madsen. Deflected in. A beautiful tip on a shot just inside the blue line by Madsen. And a perfect tip put by Stagman, and that goal will go to Ryala. Mira Ryala picks up goal number 6 on the season. Great execution. And now back to a 7-2. They cut into that deficit now. And down by 5. A power play goal for this Grand Rapids squad. And they show some life here with 4:51 to go in this third period. Huskies are able to tally 2 shorthanded goals. And that was one explosive power play, shall we say. 2 shorthanded goals by the Huskies, and then finally a power play goal for the Lightning, holding the zone and then kicking it back in. The Huskies and picking up one of the assists was Madsen. That was a beautiful shot on net by Madsen, just inside the blue line, and that tip, artistic, well done.
You can
for
see,
the Lightning.
Yeah, we got another penalty coming right now. So I believe it's Reed going to the box. But you can see the scoring potential on this Lightning team. They can, not to put a pun in here, but they can score lightning quick.
Yeah, you're right. Bang, boom. And so, tally it up. Meanwhile, for Brown earlier, she now had career goal 61 that she scored. She's also got 2 assists, so she has 107 total points.
So the seniors are Gettle, Berger, and Brown. You've got Dunleavy and Pacey Krause out there, and Stagman. Those are the 6 that are playing tonight. Really have really added a lot to this, and they have the chance for their 3rd state championship.
Gettle controls. Now it's lifted off of her stick by Pierce. Well done. Sent length of the ice. This will allow the Lightning to set up in that diamond formation, but really going down to ignite a chase. This squad, led by Mercury Bishop, in 12 shorthanded goals on the season. Bishop has it there. Mercury leads it around to Pierce. Pierce cannot hold the zone at half wall, but Bishop will get there, and she's taken down. Penalty coming up on England. So we're going to skate 4 side for the next minute and 20 seconds after the Huskies penalty on England. And this game has intensity. It was a 7-1 game, but you can tell that, hey, they've got some fire. Does this Lightning squad. Again, they came in and they had outscored their opponents this season 87-41.
So we'll be skating 4-on-4 for the next minute and 22 seconds.
Lifted into the netting. The most goals that this Lightning squad had surrendered all year was 4. That was in their first game of the year, 5. And the 5-3 loss to Rogers, their 3rd game of the season. So they're not used to seeing that many biscuits get by. Now it's 7. 4 aside for the next minute and 5. Andover with Mum. Good to have Kaylin Mum back.
Yeah, I mean, you're happy for her experience, but boy, it definitely strengthens your blue line.
She's a junior. But you know what? Guess what her plus minus is for her career? She's just a junior.
These numbers, I mean, we might have to get out a calculator and abacus to be able to understand what is her
plus 115 as a defenseman.
It's
amazing. And she just turned back from a fantastic global tournament that the U.S. ended up finishing with a bronze. Back out, now trying to settle. Skating in, Mum sets it to Madison, to Brown, down low. Shot there is smothered and held onto by Morado. Do you think she'll sleep well on the bus ride back home? She has seen
a couple of bags of ice and
32 shots since the start of the second period. That's called hitting the gear. 2.5 now with still 30 seconds left on this 4-on-4 for a brief time, and the Lightning will have the power play. Drop back. That's Jones. Puts it now on the stick of Gettle. Gettle zigzags around. Overskates there. Sent it to that far point. 10 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Gettle there to disrupt after the shot. Trying to find player down below that time. Was trying to hit Krause. Pacey Krause out there. This one shot just wide of the mark, and we are now with a Lightning power play opportunity. Reed has it. Look out, she's dangerous with that puck. Crosses the blue line, back behind. It's gathered in and brought up ice and sent right back out to neutral ice. Controlled here by the Lightning. A weave. Their own blue line. Poke checked away there by Gettle. Gettle loses a glove and tries another poke check, then picks up her glove. Now back at full strength are the Huskies. Jones tangles up in the corner. A backhand out, trying to lead Madison Brown, who was breaking through the neutral zone. Gettle gets at it there. And finally chipped to the corner by Berger. Berger, couple of goals, assist. Brown has it, looks for a wraparound, now drops it there, tries to go 5-hole, and a save is made by Verado. Good scoring opportunity that time by Delich, good setup by Brown.
Yeah, Huskies' upcoming schedule, they'll have a home game against Centennial Spring Lake Park coming up on Tuesday, and then next Friday, a trip to War Road, and on Saturday, Moorhead. They are going to put on some miles on the bus that weekend, and really good competition. War Road, one of the best teams in the state.
Currently ranked number 1 in 1A. From the shot, far side, first out circle, that's on, almost through. A shot by Mum. Hops the stick of Mum at the blue line. She'll be forced back and send it off the board. Give and go back to the touch pass. Corralled there. That was Piper Andrews. Andrews now in front, looking for the pass. It's controlled by the Lightning with 40 seconds left in this third period. 7-2 lead, and they'll wave off the ice here as Huskies easily corral the puck. 43-13 shots on goal. An outlet pass ahead there to Dunleavy. Waving at it once again there, and the chance was Andrews. Trying to split the defense. Bouncing puck is settled, and here comes Andrews. Piper Andrews skates in, carries in just beyond the blue line. Corrals Dunleavy, and they gather up as some collision, maybe a little frustration starting to gather in front of that Lightning bench with 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and this game is official. Andover Huskies 7-2. They hit the switch, shall we say, in that second period. Came out with 3 goals. 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of that second period. And finally, the game winner was scored actually by Ella Berger on the power play goal late in that second period. That was her second goal of that second period. And for her, that's game-winning goal number 4 on the season for her.
Yeah, really. Well, first of all, we got to make sure that Maya Engler's streak is broken.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes.
She's that first goal scored by her for the 4th time now is that. But really, the Huskies came out. They came out flying in that second period. And really, through that first period, the end of the first period, they had many shots. They just couldn't get through that defense, and they figured the Lightning out, and really good win for the Huskies tonight.
Hey, thank you for clarifying that too, because I felt bad about saying it with Maya Engler. 3 first goals of the season, and all of those previous games, the Huskies lost. But this one, they overcame that hardship of Maya Engler scoring that first goal and pick up a win 7-2. Hey, their power play worked well tonight, hit on all cylinders, and they truly did hit that switch to start that second period, and took a 3-0 lead to the end of the second. Both teams exchanged a couple more goals, but the Huskies come away with a big win, a score of 7-2 over Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning. Hey, I'm Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs. This has been a QCTV sports presentation. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure bringing you this game all the way from the Andover Community Center. I'm Joe, and again for Jim, and also we have also Ryan back in the studio. Thanks everyone for joining us. Have yourself a major league evening at a minor league price.